Hey man, say man, welcome back to another Act Like You Know video. You're here with your boy Jaimito, and today man, we gotta go over Halliburton has probably ended the series against the Cavaliers. He's probably ended the series against the Cavaliers. And I'm only saying this due to the simple fact that I just don't see a world where the Cavaliers beat the Pacers twice in a row at home, because the Pacers are just such a great home team, and the atmosphere there, they just play a lot better at home. They're actually a way worse home team. And this is just such a devastating loss to take, because it just seemed like the Pacers were kind of, I don't want to say like giving it away, like they just kind of seemed content losing this game. And until like the Cavaliers just didn't put them away, which is kind of hard to do when you're missing three of your stars. Obviously, Mobley was out with the ankle. Garland was out with the toe still, and then Hunter goes out with a shoulder. No, not even a shoulder, a hand injury. I thought he actually dislocated his shoulder last game on one of the harder fouls of last game, and I'm not actually happy with how Kenny Atkinson kind of doubled down, saying that like basically the Pacers are playing dirty and they're getting away with physicality or going over the line. He said that in a presser after the game and before the game. I don't really agree with that. There's been way more physical games in the playoffs in general. So for him to cry about that just seems a little ridiculous. But the the Pacers win this 120 to 119 off a Halliburton crazy step back three for a game that Halliburton kind of took himself out of. I know he hurt himself with the wrist on his non-shooting hand. He hurt himself with the wrist injury, and then he kind of let Max Strus and Isaac Okoro face guard him for most of the game, and they just played 4-on-4 basketball while Halliburton kind of stood at midcourt. Like he would inbound the ball and then kind of just stand around, and I thought that was a little odd because I'm like, Halliburton's clearly, as you saw late in the game, went for like 2 minutes left. Once they cut it down to 5, Halliburton has the ability to take over a game and really attack a big like Jared Allen and get to the rim. It seems like whenever he wants the series and create plays for others. So I thought it was just a little odd. Nemhard was great running the point though for them while everything was going bad. They actually shot the ball pretty decently this game. They shot at 50% from the field, 41%, not 41%, but 39% from three. Siakam was kind of nowhere to be found too. He just kind of it just seemed like the Pacers were giving this game away. Like they were just like, oh, well, I mean, we got the one we wanted. We flipped the home field. We'll go home and we'll attack from there. And I just felt like this was really a big game for them to attack due to them missing three starters, and you don't know when they're going to come back. That could obviously flip the momentum of this series. And you don't want to let basically just Donovan Mitchell by himself, who had a terrific game, 48 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. Shot 50% from the field, shot 21 free throws, but he was absolutely sensational today. Max Strus, he had 23 points. He had a key turnover late. He did something else late that I just can't remember off the top of my head that was just like kind of mind-boggling, but he's going to get a lot of blame for this game just with the bad turnover, even though they had no more timeouts left. Ty Jerome was awful, and I like Ty Jerome a lot from Virginia, but he was awful this game. You see why he is not a starting point guard in this game, because for him to go, 1 of 14 and just seem to have no real effect on the game. He did have 4 assists, but he really didn't have any effect on the game. They just ended up playing Murrow, who actually played better, and Isaac Okoro for most of the game, because he was not playing well at all. So that left Donovan to carry much of the load and initiate the offense and whatnot. Jared Allen was good. He was decent this game, I would say. 22 points, 12 rebounds. 12 rebounds, yes. 12 rebounds. Aaron Nesmith was huge for the Pacers. Aaron Nesmith and Benedict Mathurin, I feel like, were the two biggest players for the Pacers, especially Benedict Mathurin. Those seemed like two players that kind of understood the magnitude of like what type of advantage they had here with 3 stars being out for the Cavs, and this is a game that they needed to win. I don't know how they were still underdogs going into this. Like the line didn't move that much. It was still 6.5, but The Pacers come out with a win that they probably did not deserve. They basically, I feel like they really stole one here. I don't feel like the Cavs did anything like the other two games we saw with the Celtics and Thunder, and the Cavs' first game. Like, the favorite team or the home team did things that you kind of said they didn't deserve to win that game. In this game, it felt like with the Donovan Mitchell doing everything that he could, and the Cavs actually coming out to a great start. I believe they were up. They were up like 15, and at one point, they led throughout the game, and for them to blow this, I feel like it's a devastating blow. And then you got everyone coming back, kind of rusty and not 100%. You know, they're gonna be pumped in Indiana in the field house. I just don't see a world where they don't come back to Cleveland down 3-1 or 1-3, whatever way you would put it. I don't see them winning both games. So I think this is going to turn into another year for the Cavaliers, unfortunately, as great as their regular season was. Kind of like a what-if season. Like, what if Garland doesn't get the toe injury? What if Mobley doesn't sprain his ankle? Hunter doesn't mess up his hand? Like, I feel like you're going to hear a lot of what-ifs if the Cavaliers do not come back and win this game, win this series. And so it's going to be an uphill climb. It's going to be an uphill climb because the Pacers, like I said, play way better at home. The role players turn into basically the 2016 Warriors role players. They just don't miss for some reason, especially so. That first half in Indiana in Game 3 is going to say a lot. Because if the Pacers get off to a hot start, I don't know if the Cavaliers are going to be able to come back. It's kind of like an avalanche, for lack of a better words, due to the fact that the Cavaliers call themselves Cavalanches when they go on big runs. But yeah, they just hit you in waves, the Pacers do. Moving on to the next game, and it's kind of a weird feel. The Warriors won 99-88 over the Timberwolves, who shot terribly. I think they shot 17% from three, and that's credit to the Warriors defense, which have been the best defense in the playoffs so far. If you ask me, they've been the best defense in the playoffs. I don't know what the statistics say, but they have been the best defense in the playoffs, and it showed again here tonight against a hot shooting Timberwolves team. And they held them to 88 points. Ant was off tonight. I wouldn't say he played terrible per se. He just didn't shoot the ball well. Missed a lot of bunnies early in the first quarter. I believe he started 0 of 10. And he made his first field goal in the second half. He ended up finishing with 22 points, but not what you want to see from the legend killer or the superstar killer or the future face of the league. That's just not going to cut it for his standards, and Ant knows that. He'll shoot better. The Timberwolves in general, you would think will shoot better. They did miss a lot of clean looks, and they just seem kind of lackadaisical. The Warriors really tighten screws on them, and if Steph doesn't get hurt 13 minutes in with a hamstring injury, this is probably a blowout. I'm guessing like 25, almost 30 points, just due to the fact that even Steph was hot. He was getting a lot more space than he was in the Rockets series. Draymond came out. He started off 4 or 5 from 3. And then they were obviously playing terrific defense. And Buddy Hield even got hot. I mean, I don't know if that necessarily happens or if he needs to perform like that if Steph doesn't get hurt, because Steph was already 5 of 9, 13 points in 13 minutes. He gets hurt, but it's got to be weird for Warriors fan, because obviously you won the game, you steal home court advantage, but then you lose Steph to honestly, the worst news you could probably hear for a playoff series is a hamstring injury, and those usually take 7 to 10 days. So realistically, he should be back. I mean, I expect him to give it a go game maybe 4. Like, I don't see it game 3 because he was looking bad, non-contact injury. And if it's grade 3, then this is over for him. He's not coming back this series. So I don't see how they continue to beat the Wolves, because you expect the Timberwolves to play a lot better and Ant to play a lot better in the future games. So it's gonna be tough, because they don't have a lot besides Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. I mean, the others stepped up today. Obviously, like I said, Draymond stepped up, Buddy Hield stepped up, but like for the most part, they didn't get anything from their bench. The bench played great defense. Gary Payton gave you 2 threes off the bench, but I mean, it's gonna be a tough uphill climb. The Timberwolves, Julius Randle didn't play that great. He got to a foul line a lot, but he missed a lot of easy shots. I feel like they should. This is gonna sound weird. I feel like they should go to Rudy more, a little bit more to attack down low, especially if Draymond's gonna be their biggest player. You saw what he could do against the Lakers, so just try to trust him a little bit more. But as you can see, I think Ant's gonna have a lot of success attacking the paint just due to the lack of rim presence, not rim presence, but rim protection that the Warriors have, with basically only being Draymond Green, and then Kevon Looney comes in, but he's not going to play a significant amount of minutes to start. He'll probably come in for 25 to maybe 30 minutes, depending on how they feel about that. But I don't know, if you're a Timberwolves fan, I think you just chalk this night up to bad shooting. Ant wasn't there. Ant didn't shoot well. Unfortunately, like, Steph's out, so it's like the Warriors got this win, but it kind of feels like we saw two series almost end tonight. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I mean, I'm not trying to rule out playoff Jimmy and everything, but like playoff Jimmy, ever since he hurt his tailbone, he's not moving like Jimmy Butler normally moves. So it's just tough for it's just gonna be a tough uphill climb for both the Cavs and the Warriors moving on out here. And the Warriors won, which is surprising. And it seems like I'm speaking like they lost by like 20 and also lost Steph. But yeah, they're gonna need Steph. They're gonna need Steph back in this series. Hopefully he get a speedy recovery. Maybe you can steal another one at home and you get him back up 2-1, and then you can move from there. But hamstring injuries are tricky, as many of you may know. So I mean, we'll see with Steph. Ant's got to play better. Got to play way better. So does Julius. Paying these guys a lot of money to perform in these times, and this is a very big opportunity for them to get back to the Western Conference Finals. I feel like a door just opened. Same thing with the Pacers, and they stole one, even though they shouldn't have, even though they should have came in with a different mindset. They stole one against the Cavs. So moving on, all the road teams have won so far, which is insane. If anyone even parlayed that or bet that, that's insane that all the road teams have won. We've had some great 2 days of basketball, just great playoff basketball in period. A lot of close games, a lot of physical games, and I'm just excited. My Knicks play tomorrow against the Celtics. Celtics are probably going to come out firing, swinging, but the Knicks have done their job. It's time to get greedy, steal another one, get another one in TD Garden, really put the Celtics in a hole. And we're going to see what Jokic got for us. Does he have another 35, 12 and 12 or something night, or another 40 and 20 night? I expect the Thunder to play a lot better. I don't expect J-Dub and Chet to play that bad all series. SGA is going to be SGA. So I expect the Thunder to bounce back tomorrow. So hopefully there's not a lot of blowouts tomorrow. It kind of seems like the vibe I'm giving off here, and that's what I kind of expect for the better teams to like really tighten the screws and tie up the series. But the Nuggets and the Knicks are very capable teams of getting another game. So I guess it just comes down to the mentality of what those two teams are going to have coming into the game, because both home teams are going to come out desperate. The crowds are going to be rowdy. So all right, man, I'll see you guys tomorrow after the games conclude, and I'm out.